Hello all, welcome to another Kotlin tutorial on the duct tape developer. Today we are going to discuss variables in Kotlin. We will discuss in detail how to declare a variable in Kotlin, how to initialize it, the scope of the variable, etc. So let's start learning now. I believe that you have already opened the IntelliJ IDE. First, let's discuss how to declare a variable in Kotlin. If you remember, at the start of the class, I have mentioned that Kotlin has powerful type inference. And what was type inference? Let me jog your memory. Type inference is nothing but identifying the type of the data automatically. In Kotlin, you will let the compiler identify the data type of your variable, but you can also explicitly declare the type of the variable as well. Let's look into the following examples. Let me create two variables. var number is equal to 42 and another variable named var message is equal to hello. We now have a local variable named number whose value is 42 and whose type is integer because that's the type of the literal 42. Also, we have another variable named message whose value is hello and whose type is a string. Again, you didn't tell the compiler specifically you are declaring an integer and string data type. The compiler inferred it by seeing your initialization of the variables. Then, if you want to use this variable, you call it by its name. Like if you want to print it, you call the variable's name. Say you want to print the variable number, you call it by its name, number, and then you can try printing it. Let's run it. And it is getting compiled. Wait a second. Yeah, so it has printed the value of the variable number, which is 42. Let's print the value of the variable message as well. So as I mentioned, you will call the variable by its name, not using the var. You just call it by its name. Okay, let's see what will that print. It should print the value of the message hello. Yeah, it has printed hello. Cool. But you had noticed that you cannot change the type of the variable once it is initialized. The type of the variable message will be always a string. The type of the variable number will be always an integer. If you try something like number is equal to number and message is equal to 50. See, the ID is showing us some error. Let's see. Yeah, it's saying that the type mismatches. Requires int but found a string because you initialized the variable number as an integer, right? The compiler inferred it when you initialized it now. So you cannot ever assign an integer variable to a string again. The same is the case with message as well. The integer literal doesn't conform to the expected type string. Like the compiler automatically assumed that the type of the variable message would be a string when you initialized it. So you cannot ever change the type of the variable message to another type like we tried here today. So this is wrong. You cannot do this. Next, let's discuss read-only variables. You must have noticed that the prefix before the name of the variable. It can be either var or val. Kotlin compiler prefers you to use val over var. Why is that? Because most of the time your variable only ever needs to refer to only one object during its lifetime. Then you can declare it with val for value. Instead, let's change the prefix of the variable like val. val. Let's try to print it. And let's try to print it out. Println number and println message as well. Let's run it. Cool, it's getting printed now. So the terminology is that var, that's var, let's call it as var. Var declares a mutable variable. This means that the value of this variable can be modified after it is created, and that val declares a read-only or assign once variable. We cannot change the value of a val once it is initiated. Let's see what will happen if you try to change the value of the variable message. I am going to change the value of the variable message into Kotlin. Okay, now it's showing some error. The ID is showing us some error. Let's see. Yeah, it says that val cannot be reassigned. Why? Because val is a read-only variable. If you change the type of val into var, then it will let us to change the type value of the variable, because var can be modified, val cannot be modified. Let's print it out and test it. So you can see the value of the message hello is changed into Kotlin now. Cool. Today we have learned about the variables in Kotlin. Also, we learned how to declare variables and what's the difference between a mutable and immutable variables in Kotlin. In the next chapter, we will discuss about the nullability in Kotlin. Let's see you in the next chapter. Take care. See you.